Doo-doo-doo-doo. Welcome back to Radical Rail Reviews, where today we will be reviewing the Snyder Cut of Justice League. Doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. All right, so now spoiler alerts if you haven't seen it, hit pause, go watch it. Well, shit, don't hit pause, hit stop because it's 4 hours. So yeah, it's a whole stop right there, and watch the whole 4 hour movie, then come back and then check out your boy. Okay, with that being said, you got 1 second, 2 seconds, 3 seconds, and roll. So the movie starts off differently than the Whedon. Well, all of it's Snyder's, so Snyder did most of it. Whedon just cut what he thought was irrelevant. But we come to turn out that I still don't think they could have did a 4 hour movie and expect people to sit in there. People were already bitching when Marvel did the end game, and that was like 2 hours and 50 minutes. That was a long ass movie too. You can't expect people to sit that long for a action movie, especially not kids. So 4 hours wouldn't have been just. I think they could have broken it into two movies and it'd been fine. They just had to add a little bit more to it and then made the other movie a little bit more. You know what I'm saying? Like the first movie, they take out Steppenwolf, and then the second movie is about Darkseid and the other ones, or put more backstory into the prior fight of Apocalypse versus the gods and Atlanteans and all that. Made that about good 30 minutes. You know what I'm saying? And then space both movies out within 6 months of each other. That would have been a good idea instead of trying to make a person sit there 4 hours. But, you know. So, my overall view is it was better than the original. And it gave a little bit more in depth on certain characters that the first one didn't. It also had a lot of leaks in there, like the Robin suit being messed up, which means the Robin is dead. Which one we don't know. It could be Jason Todd. It could be Dick Grayson. Most likely Jason Todd. We also know that Martian Manhunter's in it, and he's been watching a long time. So they put that out there too. He could have been helpful in the fight, but he didn't choose to come. But I don't get that as well. That was a little bit iffy. It also dives deeper into Cyborg a little. Kind of make you don't want a Cyborg movie, and I don't see how they can make a Cyborg movie, but who knows? I mean, I'm pretty good, you know what I'm saying? Star athlete, accident, father sacrifices everything to bring him back. I get it. I'm good with that. Do want to see the Flash movie. That would curve a lot of my angst. We got the Aquaman movie. We got the Wonder Woman movie. Yeah, and I'm interested to see how the reboot of Batman plays into this as well. But we never know out here in this world. But the movie, they break it down into three parts. No, four parts. It's part one, part two, part three, part four. Part one had a few different scenes in it. Part two as well. And part three, mainly the main movie. And four was the main movie. We actually got to see Darkseid in here. Not like the other one where he was just the entity. We never got to see him. You literally see him. You know, we know the backstory of it. I'm just even Snyder Cut. He's missing the lanterns. He's missing Martian Manhunter. He missing, Shazam. All that should be in there, or working his way to there. But I get it. Uh, the black suit, which was everybody wanted to see in the first one. I mean, his original, but we didn't see because Whedon felt though it wasn't necessary. I'm glad they put that in there because that was necessary. Because most people don't know his suit heals him until he gets back to full strength. So people gotta understand that as well. That was a good one. Uh, what the hell happened? Oh, but yeah. So don't let it get to you too much. I think after watching this, I'm a little mad that the studio did Snyder dirty because he had the worst thing that could happen to a parent happen. So I feel it's like Yeah, they did him real dirty on that. I get it. Money don't stop, business don't stop, but you could take time out to let the man heal. He didn't ask for that much time. Instead of putting a person there who didn't share his same view. Now, if his understudy had finished the movie, I would have been cool with it. But to go out and get a whole nother director who don't see his vision as he did was why DC is what DC is. But it did make me want to see more movies done by him, even though he's came out and said he doesn't have a desire to do any more comic book movies, which is sad because he really could have elevated it. Untapped potential, DC, always untapped potential. But my overall view, I give it 4 reels out of 5. So yeah, I give it 4 movie reels out of 5. It would have been a 5, but they was missing something, and it could have been edited better. It was sometimes it got a little dry, and I know it's hard for a movie to stay with it the whole time, but it did get a little dry here and there. You know, the backstory and the foreshadowing of a lot of stuff that we're not going to even get to see, like the paradox that he creates, which they elaborate on in here. You know, every time he breaks the time rule, even for a second, it changes something. So when he fucks with the mother box, he fucked up the time, and thus creating what he came back in the first movie and told Bruce about. And for Bruce to be the greatest detective, not to figure out that he's saying Lana is the key, Lois is the key. I'm sorry, Lana is his Smallville days. Lois is his Superman days. But yeah, Lois is the key, and he's telling him that, and he's dwelling on it, and he can't figure it out, which is sad. But he'll figure it out eventually. Also, the vision that Cyborg has before he does the mother box. The mother box was telling him, "Don't do this. Once you do this, it can't be undone." And everybody was thinking it was a Superman coming back, but the whole time it was Superman wasn't supposed to come back. By them breaking that law, they opened up a whole can of shit, and that's what the mother box and the ship was trying to tell him. But people are hard headed. They wanted the savior back. They didn't believe in themselves to beat him without him, but then they just created something worse. So, but I would like to see in those movies, instead of a Suicide Part 2, we could have got that in between fight. Probably throw a Green Lantern in there. Get somebody to actually do the Green Lantern movie. Martian Manhunter too. They could do one of him too, cause he's vague, as long as it's done correctly. But yeah, that's about my take on the movie. You know, leave me in the comments if you think that they could have did better or worse, anything. Yeah, you know. Talk to your boy Rail. I like